30 seconds. Yeah, absolutely. You can track red whenever you please.
We either need to get rid of her completely.
15. All right, get ready, everyone. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it.
First at 5.
All right.
From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications. You're watching WUFT News.
Track the anchors. Rolling
The rumors are true. We'll tell you which parts of Midtown and Gainesville might be torn down and when.
Ready, Flash? Ready,
But first,
two.
we begin our newscast with the
Ready or
updates on
dissolve?
the woman connected to
three.
alleged
Ready,
threats leading to
ready
the
or
lockout
dissolve?
of 20 Colorado schools.
Dissolve.
The FBI identified that young woman as 18-year-old Sol Pais.
Lose font?
Good evening, I'm Grace
Sorry.
King.
Ben Henry Coburn, the 18-yerold Miami Beach high school student, was found dead by Colorado authorities earlier today. We now know that she took her own life. NBC's Jay Gray has the details.
Roll, take.
What federal agents called a massive manhunt is now over in Colorado after 18-year-old Sol Pais was found dead in a remote area on the outskirts of Denver.
Okay.
The FBI recently just confirmed that they have found Ms. Paez deceased from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Investigators say the troubled teen was infatuated with the massacre at Columbine High School, traveling to the area this week buying a shotgun and ammunition.
No, we won't use that
We
font.
were used
Next
to
font.
threats, frankly, at Columbine. This one felt different. It was different, and it certainly had our attention.
Law enforcement has not confirmed newly uncovered social media posts that appear to be from Pais, including a blog and journal with disturbing entries about suicide and weapons, along with sketches of guns and knives. Under the username Dissolved Girl, she talks about planning and organizing for the day and asks about buying a shotgun in Colorado. Schools across the area, including Columbine, were shut down today as a precaution during what for many was already a difficult and painful time, with ceremonies and remembrances scheduled Saturday, marking 20 years since the massacre.
I'm always inspired by this community's capacity, resilience, and capacity for good in the face of unimaginable evil.
A community still working to heal the scars that linger 2 decades after the attack.
Track, Henry.
Jay Gray, NBC News.
Take.
Over the past several months, a group of WUFT journalists have traveled to Columbine, Washington, D.C., Parkland, and Canada to hear the stories of school shootings firsthand. Our TV News and radio special, Generation Gunned Down, explores the solutions experts and students are fighting for. Columbine students like Kaylee Tyner.
There are still teachers who have PTSD in our school, and we have to be like really aware of that. So like even with fire drills, like all the teachers have to know before.
Generation Gunned Down will air on PBS this Friday at 8:30 p.m. with repeated showings throughout the weekend.
Ready, camera
A
one.
development group confirms the rumors that another part of Midtown will be demolished and rebuilt next year.
WUFT's Elena Wilson talked to Gainesville residents who do not seem happy about the change.
Another apartment tower is planned for a landmark location across from the UF's campus.
Kill the anchors, mics.
Many people are speaking out against the complex. They say Gainesville already has plenty of apartment options around town, and the loss of landmarks near campus will change the character of Midtown.
Once the leases are up on buildings like the Swamp, the Post Office, and Grill Fresh, 908 Group plans to build apartments very similar to the structure of the Standard. In a neighborhood workshop Tuesday night, the developers revealed the proposed complex featuring 2 buildings. The northern structure will be 4 stories of apartment units with a parking garage, while the southern building will be 6 stories tall with the ground floor reserved for retail.
These new high-rises are blocking the sun. They don't have any character. They don't feel like you're in Gainesville anymore.
Tenants have an opportunity to keep their businesses if,
along with demolition, speaking with each tenant here now and talking with them if they're interested in leasing back on our first floor then there's a potential opportunity for that.
That's not good enough for some who appreciate Midtown the way it is.
Maybe the name will still be the Swamp, but there's going to be nothing of the Swamp in there.
We're almost turning Midtown from a college town into more of a retail outlet mall.
The meeting was held to get feedback about the special use permit the developers are seeking. The permit will allow increased density up to 80 housing units per acre. The developers were hoping to receive suggestions, but instead heard only criticism.
We're losing the character of Gainesville.
908 Group hopes the development will be completed in August of 2021.
Track the anchors, take. Get ready to squeeze.
Well, I feel like it has been so nice out the last days, but will it last?
I'm right there with you. Justin was telling me that we actually have about a day or so left of nice weather. And we're going to go ahead and toss to Justin Revis in the Weather Center to see just what the next few days are going to be bringing us. Justin?
Well, Grace and Henry, right now in North Central Florida, it is still fairly nice out, sitting in the mid to low 80s for most of here in North Central Florida. And going into this evening and into tomorrow, we should see those temperatures fairly consistent, you know, cooling down into the low 60s tonight for most of us here in North Central Florida. Skies remaining fairly clear as we go into those evening, early morning hours. Low 62 tonight here in Gainesville, maybe a little bit cooler, 59 in Ocala, 57 and Live Oak in the Villages. It should remain fairly clear and comfortable at least for the next few days. Back
this
to
is
you.
the flyover. Oh shoot! Squeeze quick. Track Grace. Take.
Thanks, Justin.
Get ready to
It's
squeeze.
kitten season, and Marion County Animal
Get ready to fly.
Services
To 2, yes.
giving students a chance to play along.
And
Students 16 and older can earn community service hours by fostering baby kittens until they're old enough and get adopted. We sent WUFT's Tessa Ventulin in search of the next Mr. Whiskers.
I found a Mrs. Whiskers, a street cat.
Track her a little higher. Ready?
Babies.
B.
With luck, a forever family will give her a permanent name in a couple months. In the meantime, a student could discover how adorable her kittens can be.
Roll B, take.
This is Mama. She doesn't have a name yet, but the staffers at Marion County Animal Services have started calling her Star.
She's super sweet, and she's been that since the day she's come to us. She just wants loving and attention, and she's trusting of everybody, even with her kittens.
These are her 2 babies, about 3 weeks old.
Every day we have animals come in.
The 3 cats are a package deal for now, in need of a foster family for the next 6 to 8 weeks. The county just launched a youth foster program. Animal Services Director Jim Sweet says high school students can earn 10 community service hours each week.
We want them to have that experience of being with somebody and comfortable with persons, so that when their time for adoption does come up, they become highly adoptable.
While cats know how to care for themselves, Animal Care Coordinator Diana Mabey says they still need attention.
They literally get the nickname fur babies for a reason.
Students will need to feed them, give them water, and change their litter box.
Kitties, of course, have litter boxes, so their toilets are in the house, and unfortunately, they don't flush. So you will have to keep it clean.
Playtime and affection come naturally. Mabey says students can take on more responsibility and relieve stress.
They would love to sit on your study books and sit there and purr while you try to read around them.
As of today, Star and her kittens are still available.
Take. Ready,
There's
camera
an
2.
application for students to fill it on
Get
the
ready to
Animal
track
Services
everyone in the
website,
studio.
but here's the cat's meow. The program is still free, and all necessary items will be provided to students. Live from the newsroom, Tessa Ventulin, WUFT.
Take. Oh, don't kill it yet.
Thank you. Last April,
ready,
Ocala
camera 1.
tribute to 3 homegrown Olympic athletes. Roller skaters turned pro ice speed skaters.
Today, Marion County saluted a gold medalist from the Special Olympic World Games.
One area and every teenager returned home with 3 gold medals in equestrian events. The 2019 Games were held in the United Arab Emirates, forcing Renee Pfeiffer to meet and ride a new horse while home competitors could use their own. 3 gold medals later, she returned back to Marion County and reunited with her favorite horse, Denny.
Roll, take.
Never been on a horse before. It makes you feel kind of powerful.
Renee Pfeiffer mounts a horse like every rider.
Ready, camera 1.
She obeys her instructor, same as every equestrian.
Can we get them all?
She cares about her horse, just as every rider should. You see, when Renee is on a horse, she's just like every other equestrian. But to those close to her, she's
inspiring. She inspires others, just the way she rides. So just to see her achieve what she's been able to achieve in such a short period of time It's pretty incredible.
Renee, who has a form of autism, has been around animals her whole life.
Oh, I see you.
When she was younger, she would draw horses, but finally started riding when she was 8.
It makes me feel absolutely wonderful because I watch all my riders. They all have some kind of a disability, and I see them all grow. And I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't see how good horses can make a human be. It can make them have a normal life.
Now 16, Renee's love for horses took her overseas to Abu Dhabi for the Special Olympics World Games. As the youngest member on Team USA, she brought home the gold in 3 events.
This experience with the Special Olympics, with the World Games, has just brought her out of her shell.
Individuals with intellectual disabilities and developmental disabilities are just like every other person. Autism, they just learn differently. That's all it is. Once they find a passion for something, you can really truly see that they go after their dreams, and it means just as much to them as to any one of us.
As Churchill said, there is nothing better for the inside of a man than the outside of a horse.
Being able to know that I did something like this is pretty cool. Because I will probably remember this for as long as I have the ability to have memory.
Marion County sponsored yesterday's Welcome Home celebration, but Renee is known in both Alachua and Marion counties. She trains in Citra, but goes to school in Santa Fe High School in the city of Alachua.
Sophia, thank you. 4 years after killing his daughter, John Johnchuk is sentenced to life in prison. In January 2015, Johnchuk threw his 5-year-old daughter off a Tampa Bay bridge. Though his defense argued he was insane at the time, a jury convicted him of premeditated murder, which carries a mandatory life sentence.
The statement that Johnchuk made, if the state put as their first statement in closing, seems like a powerful statement, and they did a good job by making that the forefront. And, you know, it's very difficult facts to overcome.
That statement involved the prosecution theory that Johnchuk acted out of rage and revenge, not mental illness. Prosecutors say Johnchuk was enraged by his wife's divorce and could not stand the thought of his daughter living with her.
Today, church bells will ring all around Paris at the same time the Notre Dame Cathedral was found to be on fire. Firefighters had 30 minutes to save the 850-year-old historical landmark. The roof mostly gone and statues reduced to nothing. Firefighters were able to save most of the cathedral's main structure, including the iconic towers, the organ, and famous relics. $1 billion has been pledged to rebuild the cathedral.
One of the most emblematic churches in the world, but it's also a symbol of France. We do feel that responsibility also because we are the caretakers of those symbolic brands.
French President Emmanuel Macron says he hopes to rebuild Notre Dame in 5 years, but experts expect it to take 10 to 15 years for a full restoration.
Roll your next swipe, track the anchors, bring in your tease music. I'm rolling B.
A country music star will make history in the swamp. Everything you need to know about Garth Brooks coming to town next.
Roll a flash.
Plus, a South Carolina family is still searching for answers after their 5th graders on campus death.
Flash. Ready, black.
And also after the break, I have more information for you about the incoming severe weather this Friday.
Kill his mic, bump your music. We'll dissolve in 3, 2, 1, dissolve. Kill the music. Okay. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, nice tease, man. Okay. Education to monitor.
You guys, killing it.
Woo.
Nice.
Yep. And yeah, still store. B block. Yeehaw.
Great. Yay.
Say what? Should we?
Yeah. Oh. Yes.
Okay. Master, can we lose 30 off this break?
Spaces here.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out is this.
Yes, those are the boxes. You can squeeze left on them. Okay. I think we're good to go. You can track red whenever. I think we're coming up on a minute. 1 minute.
Weather thing, it's going to be similar. So after 1 minute squeeze
Sorry about that hesitation after rudder. That was. Okay. Ready 3, just 3, no ME1. Yeah.
That's already less than a minute for sure.
Coming up on 30. 30.
Yeah, that got out.
Yes, 27. Get ready to track red. Really, you can do it whenever. Track red now. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll it.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
Ready, B.
Welcome back. Swamps are low places, so Garth Brooks should find plenty of friends at UF this weekend. In fact, his concert in the swamp is sold out, but UF students can get a sample for free on Friday. WUFT's Kylie Adkins has the latest.
Roll, we take.
On any given Saturday in the fall, Gator football players storm the swamp. But this Saturday, you can see and hear something a little different. Garth Brooks will play in the swamp this weekend as part of his stadium tour.
This is huge for Gainesville, because when you look at all the other tour stops that Garth Brooks is doing, he's in Pittsburgh, Minneapolis, Phoenix, and when you see Gainesville in the mix of all these other major cities across the country, and Gainesville has the opportunity to really showcase itself on this type of grand stage, it's unbelievable.
Known for his top hits such as Friends in Low Places, Brooks unofficially kicked off his tour last year at Notre Dame.
They can see such a superstar and somebody who will go down as, if not the best, one of the best country artists of all time. It's gotten a lot of talk all throughout the area.
Over 75,000 tickets have been sold, making this the largest concert crowd in UF's history. These trucks have unloaded their gear and fans have bought out the stadium to the 12-time CMA and ACM Entertainer of the Year.
I'm really sad I didn't buy tickets for the Garth Brooks concert because he's one of my favorite country singers.
Original buyers can put their tickets up for resale. The lowest these tickets are selling for is about $77.
I'm going to look for tickets from third-party vendors probably because I really don't want to miss it.
Ticket will call will open at 4 p.m. You can still purchase resale tickets through multiple third-party vendors. Garth Brooks will be offering a free sound check to UF students Friday night. And in true Gator spirit, this concert will be taking place in all kinds of weather. Kylie Adkins, WUFT News.
Kylie, thank you. It's been almost 25 years since the Swamp hosted a major concert. The last time was the Rolling Stones in November of 1994. And turning to education news, school bullying is in the headlines again today.
Maria Roberts joins us with a story out of South Carolina.
In a case involving a death, the girl's family says the system failed her.
Ready, A.
The family's questions are still unanswered, weeks after the death of 10-year-old Renaya Wright.
Roll, I take.
Colleton County School Board met for the first time since the 5th grader's death. Renaya Wright died 3 weeks ago after a fight with another student. Her mother and grandfather demanded new information from the school board during the meeting. Ernie Wright says his granddaughter was bullied for weeks before the fight.
Roll, we take.
My daughter called the school like 2 weeks in advance about the same girl.
Ready, camera 1.
And the school did anything about it. So this ain't like this just happened yesterday.
Track Maria.
You know, this was going on like 2 weeks before it happened.
Following the fight, a student was suspended. Ernie says he hasn't heard anything from the school board or the sheriff's office since his granddaughter died. Students in Southern Virginia are spending the day at the Mid-Atlantic Regional Spaceport in Wallops Island. They are involved in a launch of a rocket carrying satellites that they built. LF Addington Middle School in Rice is just one of several schools in Virginia's Space-Thin Sat program. Their satellites will be on Northrop Grumman's cargo space flight to the International Space Station.
Ready, B. Track me, what we take. I'm playing
Sane people are saying that none of this stuff can happen, but scientists are saying yes, they can. I feel like if you're really passionate about science, you should let your insanity show.
Several students and teachers will be at Wallops Island for the planned launch next week and will continue to follow their creations. Two Alachua County students are prepping for the International Science Fair. Inside the physics classroom at Buchholz High School, we found junior Helena Jiang. The 11th grader created a sensor to detect chemicals in air and water. Helena hopes to inspire younger students to participate in science fairs.
It's an incredible experience, getting to meet new friends, new judges that could potentially give you some pretty interesting advice.
Helena won an all-expense-paid trip to the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, where she'll travel to Phoenix.
Track the anchors. Take.
Maria, thank you. Justin mentioned earlier that we are likely going to see thunderstorms here in the next couple of days.
But will they affect your Easter plans for this weekend? Let's go ahead and check back in with Justin in the Weather Center to see if these thunderstorms will be impacting you this weekend.
Squeeze.
Well, Grace and Henry, the good news is it shouldn't be affecting your Easter too much, although we might expect some showers Friday, maybe even a little bit Saturday morning. Right now, though, we are looking at a few clouds, not going to cause any rain. Still warm, though, here at the University of Florida Weather Center. Feels like 85 outside with a little bit of humidity and a light breeze sitting at 10 miles an hour. A little clearer looking over Ben Hill Griffin Stadium where our Brooks will be performing Saturday night. Going into tonight's lows, though, we're only getting down to 62 here in Gainesville, a little bit warmer than we were last night. 59 in Ocala, 60 in Bronson, 58 in High Springs, 57
when you see the 6-day forecast, hit your sports tees. We'll bring it in as soon as we cut to
but then Thursday, we're going to be about 6 degrees warmer for most of us than we were today, getting up to 91 in Gainesville, 89 in Ocala, 88 in the Villages, generally a little bit warmer for everyone here in North Central Florida. But moving into Thursday evening and going into Friday morning, that cold front is going to start making its way in. Getting to Pensacola by about Thursday night, sunny ahead of it, but notice the winds really start to pick up, and then getting up to 30 miles per hour, and then Friday morning, just outside of our area, and really picking up, should be affecting us about between the hours of 2 and 7 is really when you can expect those rains to kind of hang around. But then moving into the evening hours, it should clear up, and by the time we're getting into Friday night, a little bit into Saturday morning, it should be clear, maybe a few showers lingering. Will be a warm one, though, on Friday, 80% chance of rains, and still warm. At 82 is our high, a little bit cooler, but still fairly warm. And we're just going to go right to our 6-day here. Like I said, rain chances cooling down for Saturday. 80
get ready to track
for your Easter Sunday. Still pretty clear and beautiful, right around the average temperature for this time of year. And then again, sunny and comfortable for next week. Back to you.
Everyone, take.
Thanks, Justin. Well, the Gator softball team has had a successful week.
WUFT sports anchor Amanda Chaney will tell us what's next for the team.
3 Gator players have been making headlines this week. Tonight, they're up in Tallahassee for their second game of the Freshman Florida Showdown Series against the Seminoles. Don't go anywhere. Sports is next.
Killer Mike, bump your music. We'll go in 3, 2, 1, and dissolve. Yeah.
Okay, you're 15 hours. Do you want to cut a promo? Or do you want to?
No, let's leave it. She told me I could kill magic, so I might do that. Okay.
VO in the monitor is out of B. So B in the monitor, ready camera 2.
You look great, by the way. Love the earrings. Yay. Okay, C11 and C12 are
Alright, C11 and C12 are dead.
You guys are
2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Yeah. When do I switch it?
Magic. Cool. Oh, but Magic just died, so we don't actually need that. Okay. Fun fact.
I mean, it's the only thing that you don't need.
Right, yeah.
And we're...
Yes, B is in the monitor when we start. 2, I think you can loosen up a little bit. Zoom out.
Camera 2?
Yeah.
Are you listening?
Camera 2.
after this one goes out?
Camera 2. You can zoom out some.
They might not have heard which camera.
Yeah, okay. It's a little better.
That's better.
Yeah.
Is she on a box or?
I think she's on a box. Alright, 1 minute to go. Ready your sports rejoin.
1 minute.
You can track red whenever. Biggest thing here, Tiff, remember the nats. We don't use nats inside the monitor, but once we take it full, you can bring in the sound for those videos. Okay. It was a good one. It was such a good one. 30 seconds.
30.
$15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, roll it. And track Amanda.
The Gators softball team is holding on to a 7-game win streak going into tonight's rivalry matchup with the Florida State Seminoles. Welcome back to sports. I'm Amanda Cheney. Florida will be looking for redemption tonight in Tallahassee as their last loss came from the Noles exactly 2 weeks ago. In addition to the win streak, it's been a week of awards for the Gators. Kelly Barnhill and Amanda Lorenz were voted to the 2019 NPF draft. But another name in the news is freshman Hannah Sipos. She is just the 5th freshman in program history to be named SEC Player of the Week. Sipos hit her first home run and had 3 multi-hit games in this weekend's series against Texas A&M. Head coach Tim Walton says it was nice to see her step up for the team.
Roll a take.
She's not doing anything different. There wasn't anything at all that we did before the game or after the game or anything. It's really about confidence. She got a really nice first hit and then then blasted the ball over the fence, and that just took her to a whole nother level. It was really fun to see.
The Noles are going into tonight with back-to-back losses, so the Gators could use their recent accomplishments to even out the series. On the other diamond, the Gator baseball team picked up their 6th straight midweek win last night. With an 8-4 final score, the Gators swept the season series against the Jacksonville Dolphins. Florida's bats were hot early to start the game. Jacksonville got on the board first, but Florida responded with 5 runs to the first inning. One bat that was and has been particularly hot was freshman Jacob Young. He's hitting .348 on the season and went 3 for 4 last night with 3 RBIs.
Track A.
11 hits were recorded by the Gators, and Young says last night was a good momentum boost heading into the weekend.
Roll a take.
It was a good kind of boost for us. We needed something kind of
font 2 in the monitor.
Especially with SEC big LSU series coming, so I think it was a good way to kind of get going and just kind of continued it.
The Gators will head to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU Tigers for another SEC series starting tomorrow. They will look to improve their 2-7 away conference record. Local high school baseball is just a few games shy of finishing out the regular season. The Gainesville Hurricanes had a come-from-behind win from North Marion last night. North Marion's offense was explosive to start the game. Surprisingly, their 12 hits, 4 doubles, and 3 homers just weren't enough last night. Gainesville was down 7-5 going into the 5th, but the Hurricanes responded with 5 runs in the 5th. They would go on to win the game 10-8.
Dissolve.
Other local teams will hit the diamond tonight as well. Santa Fe High School is undefeated in district play, and they will host the Bradford Tornadoes at 7. At Keystone Heights, they will play a conference game against the Newberry Panthers. Both teams have a 5-3 district record. That game will also start at 7. A postseason flop, a sweep, a demolition on the ice. The Tampa Bay Lightning have made NHL history for the wrong reasons this postseason. After an NHL tying record of 62 regular season wins, the Lightning were ousted in just 4 games from the 2019 postseason. Prior to last night, the Columbus Blue Jackets have never won a playoff series. Tampa Bay is the first President's Trophy winner to be swept in the first round. The Lightning also went into this postseason with the 4th highest point total in league history and could not put a win together. The series result even tempted the Lightning Twitter account to apologize to fans. Columbus will advance to the 2nd round, awaiting the winner of the Boston-Toronto series.
Take.
Thank you, Amanda.
Track weather.
Before we go, one last check on the weather.
Take.
Well, we are watching out for that storm system that is approaching later this week, going into your weekend. By about Thursday morning, we'll be at
29:30. You'll hit your dead roll.
Of the front will be fairly pleasant, but once it starts to get a little closer by Friday morning,
1 and 2, you can work on booty shots. That'd be fun.
Showers towards the coast, not really affecting North Central Florida too much. But by the early afternoon, we can really expect those showers starting around 2 o'clock.
You want to do a zoom out? We can try
pretty
that.
Heavy substantial rain system moving into our area. Possibility of some wind damage, but should be gone by Friday evening. We should expect it to clear out. With that, we will expect temperatures to cool off as we move through the week with the jet stream lifting. But by Saturday, we will be a little bit warmer. So those showers Friday with the potential damage cooling off Saturday after that front moves through just with that cool air. But by Sunday for your Easter, it should be beautiful and back to normal and a great start to next week.
Track the anchors. Take.
Thank you, Justin. BBC World News is next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7.
Our news team will bring you another show tomorrow at 5, but your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.
And ready, font 2. Thank you for bringing in the music. Dissolve. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Dissolve. Thank you.